Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're reviewing the Googan Squad's go-to Gold Series rod. I got some fresh, huge news. I am freshly sponsored by Catchco, who does collaborate with the Googan Squad on these rods. But I'm going to be honest with you guys, that really hasn't changed my viewpoint on these. As we get into this video, I just wanted to disclose that I am now newly sponsored by Catchco, and thank you guys for helping me get to this point as we plan on continuing to grow. Thank you guys for your continued support. I want to state that this video is sponsored by Catchco. So if this is your first time looking at the go-to rod, it is a medium heavy, fast action tipped rod. It's 7 foot long, and the Gold Series uses a 40-ton blank. It also has ceramic guides, sea guides. Sea guides is, I believe, is what they're called, but forgive me if that's not what they're called, but they have an upgraded ceramic guide. And overall, they have a cork handle. They have a clicking rod seat. Let's see if I can get it to click for you guys. And overall, I've really enjoyed using this rod for the last 4 months. I keep hitting it on my garage door thing up there. Sorry. But I have had this rod for 4 months. I've probably done thousands of casts with it already. It's been my go-to rod, ironically, on the front of my boat. It's the one I pick up the first. I've been trying to fish it the most, and it fishes very, very well. The first thing I noticed about it when I first lifted it up is that it's extremely light. It is a very, very light rod. So for those long days of fishing, you're not going to have a lot of wear and tear on your body holding up a big heavy stick. I've had no issues with my guides so far. All of them are still fully intact. Nobody's broken, none of the ceramic is cracked out or anything, and they're all still really, really smooth. The only issue that I've had is with the handle, and this is self-imposed issues because I was opening up one of the sides here, and the rod fell in it, and I slammed it back down on it and stood on the lid here, and it kind of gave it a little crack down here at the end. Luckily, it's not progressed down the shank. It's actually just kind of stayed right here and localized. I don't know if you guys can even see it here. Maybe I'll get you an image of it. Right there is where I cracked it, but it still feels really strong. If it was up here, I'm sure the rod would have snapped by now. Right now, I'm not too concerned about where this is, but it is a self-imposed problem because I did step on it. The cork handles feel really good in my hand just to have them like this. It feels really, really good. I've not had any hand cramps or anything like that. I swap hands a lot, especially when I'm flipping. I'll swap hands, the improper way to do flipping. I do that. So I swap hands a lot, and it feels comfortable in both hands, and I really haven't had any issues, back or shoulders or anything, other than just being tired after fishing for 8 to 12 hours in a day. So one of the new feelings with this rod that I haven't ever had before is that I felt things in the water that I hadn't felt before. Apparently I buy cheap rods and they don't have the sensitivity that this rod does. So when I first started fishing with it with a Texas rig here, I started setting the hook on a lot of things that didn't really need the hook set on them. It was just going over a log, a rock or something. It was really impressive to me, the difference in sensitivity from a typical $80 rod to this $150 rod. The sensitivity was immense. I started getting the hang of feeling what is a bite and what's not, but I'm still learning a little bit with this rod. As you've seen on the channel over the last few months, I have missed fish. Sometimes I think those are not real fish. I think it's just me thinking it's a fish when it's really just a log or a rock or something. I'm still learning the new sensitivity. It's actually really, really impressive. I'm still just in the learning part of that ball game though. So the next thing I want to talk about are the hook sets. Hook sets have been very, very firm with this rod. Obviously, you would expect that with a fast action tip and a medium heavy rod. They are very firm. I haven't really snapped the line on too many fish as far as going on hook sets. Most of the time it's because, hey, I casted a line that I knew was a little bit frayed and I probably shouldn't have casted. You know, I should have stopped and retied, done that kind of deal. But overall, hook sets have been really firm and really strong, and I haven't done a whole lot of crankbait fishing with it with the treble hooks. But with Texas rigged hooks and stuff like that, it's definitely kept the fish pinned and not allowed the fish to shake off. I got to do more experimenting with the treble hooks. I haven't done too much fishing with the treble hooks. I actually bought this rod to be a crankbait rod, but so far it's been more of my slightly finessier Texas rig rod, and I've been using it almost all the time. As far as the strength of this rod, it's extremely strong. I've boat flipped 5-pounders. I've drug 5-pounders over grass mats. That's probably about the largest fish I've dealt with so far. I did catch a 6-pounder, 6.5-pounder on this guy, and it performed very, very well. I wasn't really worried about losing the fish due to the rod. I was more worried about my little 12-pound test that I had on there and a little bitty Texas rig that I had going on. But the rod was definitely not a concern. I probably could have boat flipped the fish. If it wasn't my new PB, I probably would have. But I wanted to be secure and definitely get that fish in. So I didn't boat flip a 6-pounder, but I have boat flipped a few 5-pounders and drug them over some grass mats. This had the rod completely bowed. I'll see if I could show you a clip of how bowed I've had it. But overall, this rod, strength-wise, I haven't had any issues, obviously. It's still full integrity here. And we'll find more about it as time progresses, but I've fished this guy pretty hard over the last 4 months. Now, in all honesty, I want to buy more. I want to buy more of these rods. I want to buy the Gold Series. I really like the Gold Series. I have a few Green Series rods here in the boat. For rods that I don't quite use as often, I have a jerkbait rod and a flipping heavy stick that I don't use quite that often, but they are pretty specialized and you really kind of need a certain rod to do that kind of fishing. I am going to purchase a few more of these Gold Series go-to rods just to have something. Hey, I want to have a spinnerbait tied on. I want to have a crankbait tied on. I want a Texas rig tied on. So when I just missed that fish, I could throw a new presentation in there. Or if I just want to switch up the tactics that I'm using, I just pick up a new rod and I don't have to retie this guy every time. So I really am impressed with the Googan Squad and Catchco and how they've produced this rod. It is a fantastic rod. I really enjoy using it and I do plan on buying more. And speaking of purchasing rods, buying the Googan Squad go-to rod, if you want to buy one of these rods, I have a link below to get you to the Shop Carl's website. It is the best place to buy the Googan Squad rods. It might be the only place at this point, but it's my favorite place to purchase these rods from. If you're a Carl's Club member, you can get up to 30% off on products there. You can also get these rods at a special price. So for the Gold Series rod, it typically runs $150. With the Carl's Club membership, you can get that down to $120. And the Green Series, you can purchase that all the way down to $80 from the original $100 that goes at. So you can get some great deals on rods, all just for your Carl's Club membership. Remember that you get a 30-day free trial for the Carl's Club membership. So if you just want to buy a few rods and try them out and get a good deal on them, you can do it during that 30-day trial period. But if you're like me, I buy so much tackle, the $50 a year for the membership, you save way more money than that. In fact, I've probably saved hundreds of dollars on tackle using my Carl's Club membership. You also get free shipping on certain items. And something new that they started doing is if you purchase a hard bait from them and you buy, I don't know, a $15 crankbait. You buy a $15 crankbait from Carl's Club or from Carl's Bait and Tackle, and you're a club member, and you snag it up the first day you go out there, you never even caught a fish, and you lose your new crankbait, you never even got to really try it, and you're just so frustrated with yourself, and you just can't bring yourself to buy another one, well, the Carl's Club members get to have 4 claims on hard baits every year for baits that they lose. It's Carl's Tackle Insurance is what it's exactly called. So that's my little spiel about Carl's Bait and Tackle and the club membership. I've been a club member for a couple years now, and I've absolutely enjoyed seeing the exclusive products come through and being one of the first people to buy them. So I just wanted to give you guys an option to go out and do that. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, smash that like button. But just like always, until next time, get out there and go catch you some fish.